Hello everyone and welcome to this week's episode of Leatherneck Insider. I'm Levi Meyerhofer.
And I'm Avery Thompson. A brand new Leatherneck Insider Athlete of the Week is here. Austin has more with this week's winner, Aiden Breslin.
Hello everyone, my name is Austin Holzneigel and I'm here with this week's Leatherneck Insider Athlete of the Week, Aiden Breslin. First off, Aiden, congrats on winning this award. You had a great performance against St. Thomas last week that helped boost you to get this award and scoring your first collegiate goal. Tell me about how that feeling was.
It was a surreal moment. I mean, just scoring the first goal. I mean, honestly, scoring a goal this season, it was not something I expected, but when it happened, and I'm super happy about it. Just felt good to get the first one under my belt.
Yeah, I'm sure you are, and I bet there's many more where that came from. And you guys have 20 points on the season. Over half of those are coming from freshmen and sophomore. Tell me about how close you are with your freshman and sophomore class and how you guys have been growing throughout the season.
I mean, everyone on the team is super close, but like the freshmen, the six freshmen are always with each other. We all live on the same floor in Thompson, so we're always with each other. So every meal together, it's just super fun. I feel like that's translated onto the pitch because it's just the pure chemistry by everyone on the team. So it's a perfect situation.
Yeah, we've seen it. Like I said, over half your guys' points have come from freshman and sophomore. And you guys only have 4 more games remaining on the year. Conference playoffs are around the corner. What's your guys' mentality, and how do you guys want to finish the season?
Just really get that at least to get in the 4th place spot to make the conference tournament. Really got to pick up points versus Kansas City and Omaha and Oral Roberts this week, and then St. Thomas got to be win as long as Omaha. Same thing. Just really got to get to the conference tournament, and we'll see what happens from there.
Well, we wish you guys the best. Hopefully we can see you guys in the conference tournament. And thank you so much for joining me and taking the time out of your day to do this interview. And for Leatherneck Insider, I'm Austin Holzneigel.
Thanks, Austin. The Leathernecks travel to take on Oral Roberts tonight at 7 p.m., but will be back at home one more time this season as they take on Omaha on Saturday, October 28th at 1 p.m.
Speaking of Athletes of the Week, the WIU volleyball team is on a roll as they have another Player of the Week in the Ohio Valley Conference. Brittany Wolf earned Co-Offensive Player of the Week honors. Leatherneck Insider reporter Calvin Darnell has more.
Brittany Wolf has poured her blood, sweat, and tears out for Western Illinois volleyball for 3 years now. Since joining Leatherneck Volleyball, Wolf has been the heart and soul of the Western offense. When it comes to personal achievements, though, Wolf prepares to share it with her teammates.
I think that's just like a really good step for like the program and the right direction of like where we want this program to go and how it's going. We're just like slowly adding our names like into those lists and like hopefully getting the rest of our team on there too.
A leader on and off the court, Wolf was named one of the captains for the 2023 season. She's been integral in the turning of the tides for Western volleyball, doing her part to create a winning culture.
I think it's just super important keeping the team like on the same track, same page as like a winning and like enforcing that and just like all of our team culture and everything, just making sure that we stay together as a team even when it's good and bad times.
Wolf has a cerebral approach to the game. She always tries to stay a step ahead of the competition. See how Wolf breaks down how she stands out.
I would say just like being smart and like knowing what the other side's doing, seeing what's on the other side, the block, just like what their defense is doing and not making the same errors over and over again.
For Leatherneck Insider, I'm Calvin Darnell.
Thank you, Calvin. Congratulations to Brittany Wolf on her Offensive Player of the Week honors.
Coming up after the break, we'll bring you some WIU football highlights, and Luke Little joins us to talk about the Olympics. Don't go anywhere.
Not W?
It's not W, it's W. 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 That's what I've been stressing out about the most so far. It's saying W because I know it's something you're going to say right. Yeah, we've been there.
They're like, we're waiting on, what are we waiting on?
They haven't said it. I thought we're ready to go. We can start.
Hello everyone, I'm Will Thomas.
And I'm Dane McAlee. Welcome to this week's edition of Leatherneck Insider.
Since we're back from the first quarter break, let's talk football. The WIU football team hosted the Missouri State Bears last week. The Leathernecks had a promising first drive, but it was MO who got the first go. They'd lead after the first quarter 10-0. On to the second quarter, a glimmer of hope for Western on a 32-yard score from Matt Morrissey to Donald McKinney, score getting closer at 10-7. Western's shine quickly faded though, as it was all Bears from there. They'd go on to spoil the next homecoming 48-7. Matt Morrissey spiraled 23 completions for 213 yards, with Jay Parker snagging 6 tosses for 61 yards. On defense, WIU's Ryan Crandall had 9 tackles. The Leathernecks are at North Dakota State University in Fargo today for another Missouri Valley Conference throwdown with kickoff at 2:30.
Switching from football to basketball, the WIU men's basketball team had added some new transfers to their roster for this upcoming season. One of them is 6'11" center Joe Petrakis. Leatherneck Insider reporter Ben Palanca has more.
Joe Petrakis played for 4 different schools before coming to WIU and learned many different things on and off the court.
Man, I've learned a lot. Being junior college, playing at the high major level, mid-major, low major. I've learned something different from every place. Junior college was a lot of, learning how to be an athlete in college, and Kansas State, learning how to change my body, how to be a support guy on a team instead of like the main guy. Western Carolina was different. I stepped into a leadership role and learned how to lead guys, learned how to be kind of one of the go-to guys on the team. And then Illinois State, mentally dealing with injuries, stuff like that. So I learned a lot from everywhere, and I'm ready to put all that into my 6th year.
Petrakis talks about how dangerous he can be as a playmaker and as a shooter.
Right, I mean, floor spacing is a huge thing in the modern game. You're really not going to play at a high level without being able to at least knock down a 15-footer. With me, you really got to guard me from the logo in. So, that gives our team a lot of spacing. Our guards get more driving lanes, and it gives me way more opportunities to score. As I mentioned before, switching, how do you want to guard ball screens? How do you want to guard a big who can bring you inside and shoot the ball from outside and handle the ball like a guard? I'm playing multiple positions this year just like I did at Kansas State, so I'm really excited.
For Leatherneck Insider, I'm Ben Palanca.
Thank you, Ben, and good luck to Joe Petrakis this upcoming season.
There are 2 different kinds of people in this world. Those who find solutions and overcome challenges, and those who quit. Well, Meg Simmons is a heck of an athlete who prevails through challenges. As they say, people see the congratulations, but Simmons lets us in on what were some of the challenges.
So at my high school, it was a co-op, and we didn't have an actual track. This is my first time ever having a track. We had a dirt, basically like mud most of the time, ring around our football fields. And it was really hard to train, compete at the same level as the other teams around us because we didn't have the same facilities, and we didn't have, most of the time we wouldn't have a bus, and it was just really hard to be even with the places around us because we were just set back because we're a small school, we were poor, we didn't have much, so.
Despite the roadblocks, Simmons has conquered. A lesson we can all learn from the 10-time Illinois High School state qualifier.
Now we head over to Luke to talk about the Summer Olympics. Take it away, Luke.
Well, guys, the Olympics, they're a tale as old as time. They date back to at least 3,000 years ago. Now, these upcoming Olympic Games might look a little different than they used to, but they still hold the same idea, to bring together the best athletes in the world to compete in the coming Games. Some additional sports will be added, and star athletes look to join this USA team. The upcoming Games will be held in Paris, France, and we might get to see some familiar faces heading over to Europe. The USA men's basketball team held a long-standing reputation as being one of the top in the world. The USA men's team has won gold in the last 4 Olympic Games, but with more countries producing NBA talent, it could be harder to win gold. So some American-born players said they could be suiting up for the USA team in the upcoming Games. Confirmed players currently include stars like LeBron James, Steph Curry, Joel Embiid, Jason Tatum, Kevin Durant, and more. For the 2028 Olympics, the USA will host in Los Angeles, which will be the 3rd out of 9 times America has hosted that will take place in LA. The Games, there will be 5 different sports: flag football, baseball and softball, cricket, lacrosse, and squash. The most talked about event in America is the addition of flag football. Many NFL players, including Miami Dolphins wide receiver Tyreek Hill, have made comments about joining the Games with talent like that. It could make a really interesting addition. With these new games and these familiar faces, these upcoming games should be very exciting to watch. I personally would love to watch some of my favorite athletes play in these games. What about you guys? What are some of your favorite Olympic games to watch?
Yeah, I really love watching gymnastics and swimming, but I think with the addition of baseball coming back, I'm definitely going to be watching that one a lot.
Yeah, I enjoy watching the sand volleyball, and I'm excited to watch lacrosse. I think it's an underrated sport. I'm kind of excited to see what country comes out on top there.
Yeah, I agree.
All right, well, when we come back after the break, we'll share what Macomb High has been up to. Don't want to miss it.
Your vision.
My goal is to work at a top 100 television station as a reporter, anchor, and a producer.
Our mission.
Thanks to Western, I have a resume that would beat out most students from the top journalism schools in the country.
This is Western Illinois University.
I am a success story. I am a Leatherneck.
Glad you're back. Unfortunately, the Macomb High Bombers have been eliminated from the playoffs. The Bombers needed to win their last 2 games to make it and came up short last Friday, losing to Mercer County 16-24. The Bombers came off one of their best seasons in program history, going 10-1 and 8-0 in conference play. The Bombers lost J.T. Jeter, Ethan Ladd, and Jack Duncan after last season. The Bombers will look to build up their younger roster into next season.
The Macomb High volleyball team has concluded regular season play. They finished second in the Prairieland Conference with a record of 7-1. The Bombers begin postseason play on Monday with regionals against Beardstown.
Now onto the softball field. The WIU softball team concluded their 8-game fall season, finishing out their last game 2 weeks ago against Kirkwood Community College. The baseball team also wrapped up their fall season as they faced off against Spoon River College last weekend. Both teams will now look ahead to their first season in the Ohio Valley Conference this spring.
And now we have Nick Grunwald joining Jalen Short. Short intro for Short Takes.
Welcome everyone to another episode of Short Takes. I'm your host Jalen Short, and this week I have another special guest, Leatherneck Insider Vice President Nick Grunwald. Nick, thanks for coming on the show, man.
Hey, thanks for having me. It's good to be here.
All right, first let's talk about Jalen Hurts and the Philadelphia Eagles. They didn't play well at all against the New York Jets in a loss on Sunday. Hurts threw 3 interceptions. He looked rattled out there. The Eagles didn't look like they were in sync out there. Can they bounce back from this loss? I think they can because of how good they are this season.
Yeah, I mean, the Eagles are tied right now for the best record in the NFC, sitting at 5-1, but it's clear they aren't the same dominant team that they were a year ago. Jalen Hurts has an interception problem. He threw 3 in the loss on Sunday. He now has 7 total this season. I'm not ready to count the Eagles out yet. They're not dead, but they're going to be kicking themselves looking back a couple weeks from now as they have one of the toughest schedules over the next 8 weeks.
Yeah, for sure. And then let's talk about the other team in the NFC, one of the top teams in the NFC, the San Francisco 49ers. They took a loss against the Cleveland Browns. And I can tell you that watching that game, the Cleveland Browns were just more physical at the point of attack. The 49ers, they just didn't look like they wanted to get involved offensively as well. Are they still the best team in the NFC? I think they are, but what about you?
I mean, the Browns showed that there's a recipe for success against a team like the 49ers. If you can go pound for pound, flesh for flesh with them down in the trenches, then you've got a chance to be in any sort of game. I have little to no faith in Brock Purdy, who doesn't look very well if he doesn't have Christian McCaffrey in the backfield with him like he didn't on Sunday for a period of time.
Yeah.
I still trust Kyle Shanahan enough, so if everybody's healthy, I'll rock with the 49ers, but there are definitely some vulnerable pieces there.
Okay, now let's talk about the Detroit Lions. As a Bears fan, I don't really like the Detroit Lions. I don't like to talk about them, but I have to give credit where credit is due. Dan Campbell has that team playing great. Jared Goff is playing great right now. They're a top 5 team, in my opinion, right now in the NFC. Can they win the NFC playing like this, the way they are right now?
I mean, it'd be hard to count them out. They've built this team right. Dan Campbell has the offensive and defensive lines beefed up. He's got a lot of weapons around Jared Goff. We've seen Goff make it to the Super Bowl before with the Rams with a ton of weapons around him. So as long as you're not asking him to do a whole bunch and the Lions can control the line of scrimmage the way that they can, they're going to be in any sort of playoff game. I don't know if I'm ready to put them at the top of the conference yet. They still got to get past the likes of the Eagles and the Niners, but they're right up there with them.
Now let's move to the AFC. The Miami Dolphins have arguably one of the best offenses in the NFL right now, and it's mostly because of Tyreek Hill. He has 814 receiving yards, and it's only week 6, and that's crazy to say. Does he deserve some MVP consideration right now?
I don't know how you can't look at him. I mean, the Dolphins are on pace right now to put up one of the most high-powered offenses in NFL history, and a lot of that's due to Tyreek Hill. Mike McDaniels draws up some amazing plays. Tyreek isn't just going to beat Calvin Johnson's single-season receiving record that he set back in 2012, but he's going to smash it by more than 300 yards. If they keep up this pace offensively, I don't know how you can't put him in the conversation.
Yeah, I wholeheartedly agree. But that's all we have time for today, guys. Make sure you guys tune in to Short Takes next week. Thank you, Nick, for joining me today. I'm Jalen Short, and we'll see you guys next week.
Thank you, Jalen and Nick. I am actually really excited to watch the Dallas Cowboys after their big one on Monday. How about you?
I like the Kansas City Chiefs odds against the Los Angeles Chargers this weekend, but I do think that Los Angeles could cover the spread on this one.
I agree with you. Coming up after the break, we head to Harry Masato Golf Course where Schoolboy Sports talks with Olivia Kurt. Don't go anywhere.
Western Illinois University. Our beginnings in 1902 focused on providing affordable teacher education training. We've changed with the times and excelled through the years. Today, Western is positioned for the next 100 years and beyond. Affordability of diverse academic programs, outstanding learning opportunities, and hands-on experiences provide excellent job placement for our graduates. This is Western, forever Western.
The WIU men's golf team participated in the Martin Fed Invite this week. Mateo Razkan led WIU shooting .219. Razkan's best round game in round 3, shooting 1 under with 4 birdies for the round. The men's golf team will be back in action in February when they head to Montgomery, Alabama to play in the ASU Spring Classic.
We now send it out to Harry Masato Golf Course where Stoolboy is. Chip away, Stoolboy.
Welcome to episode 6 of Leatherneck Insider with another Schoolboy Sports segment. This week I'm here with golf player Olivia Kurt. Olivia, how are you doing today?
Good, thank you. How are you?
I'm good. So, being from Australia, Olivia, is there any big difference you've noticed with course layout or pace of play compared to the United States? Welcome to episode 6 of Leatherneck Insider with another Schoolboy Sports segment. This week I'm here with golf player Olivia Kurt. Olivia, how are you doing today?
Good, thank you. How are you?
I'm good. So, being from Australia, Olivia, is there any big difference you've noticed with course layout or pace of play compared to the United States?
I'd say the courses here that we play are a lot shorter than I play back home. It was a big adjustment from playing some shorter courses, just different clubs into greens. But I'm getting better at it, yeah.
And being from Australia, representing your hometown, being in the United States, what does that mean for you?
I'm happy to do it. Like, everyone back home still talk to me and they check up on me and how I'm going. And it's like a big achievement for me, moving all the way here, and yeah.
And so, throughout a meet, do you have a certain mindset? Does it change hole by hole? What is your mindset like throughout a meet?
I just try to keep calm as best as I can, try to be in the present. Like when I have a bad shot, try to let go and just move on. So like the next shot's just better than the one before.
And final question for you, what was your most memorable moment so far here at Western Illinois?
I say my first ever college tournament, first round, I shot a PB. And yeah, just remember that. And it was a great intro to college golf.
Well, thank you, Olivia, for your time. Now back to the desk with Levi and Avery.
Thank you, Stoolboy. It's great seeing all the athlete stories from your interviews, and we can't wait to see who you interview next week.
Well, that is all the time we have for today. Be sure to follow us on Twitter, Instagram, and TikTok at InsiderWIU. I'm Avery Thompson.
And I'm Levi Meyerhofer. This is Hoff signing off, and we'll see you next week, Leatherneck Nation.